I know that God is in this place because God is everywhere and always. All time, all space dwells within the oneness of spirit. This is who and what we are. This is the life that we live, that spiritual, awakened life. So we call ourselves together by whatever means to remember the truth, to remember who we are, to remember why we're here, to know the power and the presence that dwells in us, that moves through us, and that is all around us. And with that certainty of knowing, we accept our role on planet Earth to awaken ourselves and to call to all to awaken and know the truth. And with clarity of knowing this, we simply let it be in gratitude and love. And so it is. Good morning. Let me put these away. Yes. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living's Sunday celebration. We're delighted that you've chosen to be with us at this time, whenever the time is that you're doing this. And know with me that you are absolutely included in that opening treatment. The fact that we all aren't in the room together as we like to be does not keep us from having that connection of spirit no matter where we are. So I have some things that I want to share with you this morning. First is that my class, the second module of my class, completes tomorrow night. That would be Monday, the 20th of April. And we'll then prepare for our third module of Keys to Higher Consciousness. And if you're available, it is a Zoom connection. You can go to our website or to our Facebook page and find the Zoom link for that. And we hope that you'll join us. Thank you. We also have our Wednesday night experience happening with Judith Laniak this week. Her title is Good Grief and Exercise and Acceptance, and that sounds like a wonderful thing for us to engage in. So I invite you to come. The same is true. It will be via Zoom, and it will be that Zoom address. The link to get on there is certainly available on our website and on our Facebook page. So those are the announcements. Before we actually go into our treatment, what I want to do is invite anyone, well, not anyone, but those that may live close and would like to join us. We have this mandate to have no more than 10 people in the room. And this time, for the very first time, we have less than 10. So if you have an interest in being part of this, send me an email to John at johnbwaterhouse.com and let me know that you'd like to be here, and I'll see what I can do and see how that works. So now we're going to do our treatment for freedom. So I invite all of you, wherever you are, to speak together with me aloud these words. I speak my word for myself, my center, and all its members and friends. I know love as the only reality. I am created out of love. Love is what I am. I know this love as absolute freedom in every area of my life, the life of my center, and all who call it home. I claim for all of us financial freedom with all debts paid and cleared. I release any sense of struggle or wrongdoing. I live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. We experience freedom in every moment by always having more than enough money, vibrant health, and loving relationships. We are who we have come here to be. With hearts open wide, we see the world through the eyes of love. We are blessed, we are rich, and we are free. And so it is. So now we get to hear from Barbara. Yay, Barbara.
But we know that if we name it, we're going to claim it. I say that every Sunday. We have learned at Center for Spiritual Living Asheville that if we know it, we will grow it in our lives. And if we name it, we will claim it. And if we name it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's going to show up. Whether we are fully embracing that in the moment or whether we're just kind of keeping our fingers crossed and, well, we're going to say it, we're going to put it out there, we're going to move forward toward this goal, and then we grow into the goal. You know, you don't just wake up in the morning and say one thing and have it pop into your life, at least not usually. When we talk about creating our experience, we talk about going for it. We talk about stretching into greater levels of reality, greater levels of love, greater levels of joy, greater levels of prosperity, greater levels of health and wholeness, greater levels of success. We stretch into that. That's why this teaching is not for the faint of heart. We've got to be tough. Somebody gives us a diagnosis and we look at it and we go, that's just a piece of paper. That's just one person's opinion about who I am and what's going on. Something happens to us financially. Somebody comes to me and says, I'm going bankrupt. I say, great. How can you say great? I'm so ashamed. No, don't be ashamed. You're stretching into a greater level of experience. Do you know what bankruptcy is? It's legal forgiveness. How great is that? Legal forgiveness. I wish we could legislate forgiveness for everybody, but evidently you only get that if you're going bankrupt. Wouldn't it be great, though? We are mandated by the government to forgive each other. I think it'd be great. We stretch into our demonstrations. We don't just say, well, I'm gonna create just a little bit better today than yesterday. No, our life gets a little bit better today than yesterday, but that's because we've jumped way out in front of it, because we're going for the whole shebang. We're going for joy, and not just somebody that we don't fight with. We're going for our soulmate. We're going for prosperity beyond our wildest dreams so that we can go where we want to go and do what we want to do and be who we have come here to be. We go for the miraculous healings of bodies that jump out of bed in the morning, filled with energy, awakeness, flexibility, health, joy, all of that. We go for it here. And we go for it even if we haven't completely bought into it. People say, I can't demonstrate this because I don't really accept it yet. No. Ernest says all you need is 51%, just to tip the scales. And if you don't have 51%, see a practitioner. They will help you. We go for the whole thing. We don't hold ourselves back and say, well, maybe I just deserve a little bit of good in my life. No, we deserve it all. If we truly are the individualization of spirit in form as us, if there really is only one thing going on, and that is what we are, and we are it, then how in the world would we hold back? What are we going to do? Say we had a great sunrise yesterday, but I think I've used up my quota of beautiful sunrises, so I'll just have a black and white this morning? Or better yet, just gray clouds? Just go ahead and rain on me, because that's all I deserve. That's crazy. Because every moment is the best. Every moment is I've never seen a sunrise I didn't think was beautiful. Every moment is beautiful. Every moment is the best. We get to have the best day ever, every day. But only because we have the courage to reach out and to grab hold of it. And we grab hold of it with our words. We grab hold of it with our thoughts. Joe Dispenza says that what we think about and what we think about, we bring about. What we focus upon and dwell upon, we create in our experience. We're going to get what we're looking for, whatever that is. We could look at a wonderful experience and only decide to have miserableness, and I'm angry and frustrated, and I take that whole beautiful experience and just throw it out the door. Somebody's right next to us going, this is a wonderful experience. This is fantastic. I'm so grateful to be here. And so they get a wonderful experience. The experience is neutral. We are the deciding point in our lives.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for your incredible wisdom. So now we're going to do our April affirmation together. I invite you to join me in this. I know that within myself there is that life which is perfect, complete, divine. It was never born and cannot die, for it lives and is God. Within myself is the wholeness, peace, poise, and power of life. This life is health, it is abundance, it is love. There is one life, and it is the life of God, and this is my life now. And so it is. And with that, it's time for us now to do our meditation. And what I have to share with you today is a meditation for balance. Anybody question the idea that perhaps we could all use a little more balance in our lives? So perhaps this will help. Of course, we always begin by finding a comfortable seat, somewhere where we can perhaps put our feet on the floor and straighten our backs as comfortably as is reasonable. And if you're sitting on the floor, certainly cross your legs and again, keep your back as straight as you can. Now look straight ahead to the horizon, and it doesn't matter whether you can see the horizon. This is just a way to hold your eyes at a steady point that you're comfortable. Now close your eyes. Begin to relax your body, settling in for an inner journey. This morning we're going to focus on our emotional body. Emotions are neither good nor bad. Emotions are energy that we can feel within and through our bodies. Today we're going to experience this energy and observe how it connects to our thinking. As human beings, we have a tendency to hold on to our emotions, especially the heavier ones. This causes us to stay in a reoccurring loop, thinking thoughts, replaying events in mind, and imagining a future that holds us in an undesirable emotional state. Breathe that thought out and allow a gentle wave of relaxation to wash over your body. Whatever you're feeling right now is perfect. Now imagine yourself walking along a beautiful forest trail. Be aware of how alive the woods are. Imagine that you're hearing birds singing as they fly from tree to tree. Notice the squirrels scampering through the trees. Now feel the sunshine on your face as it sends rays of light down through the forest canopy above. As you're walking along this soft path, notice a brightness ahead of you. As you come closer to that brightness, you realize the forest is opening up to a beautiful meadow. As you step out into the bright sunshine, be aware of all the colors in the field, all these beautiful flowers that are before you. And be aware again of how warm the sunshine feels on your face, on your shoulders, on your entire body. Now breathe some of that warmth into your lungs and feel it move through the internal parts of your body. As your body is warming, capture this moment in your mind and become aware of your emotional state. What are you feeling right now? Be aware that this sense of peaceful delight, or whatever name you would give it, is completely connected to the images you are experiencing in mind. These sensations are neither good nor bad, they just are. This place is absolutely your creation, and so are the feelings that you're feeling right now. Allow this to be a moment of pure joy. Life is loving you, and you are loving life. Now imagine yourself sitting down in this beautiful meadow. Be aware of being closer to the flowers, and notice how much is going on in this field. There are bees and butterflies dancing from flower to flower. Now imagine reaching down with your hands to touch the earth. What do your hands feel beyond the textures of the plants and the soil? Can you feel the life force energy of this living planet beneath you? The earth is alive, and if you choose, you can feel that aliveness. Now see if you can draw that vibrant energy up into your body. Invite it in through your root chakra, that place where you're sitting on the ground. Allow that energy to come up into your body. Allow it to flow up your spine and out your arms and your legs, all the way to the tips of your toes and your fingers. Feel how the energy warms and energizes your body. This energy carries with it a gentle relaxation and a sense of flow and movement throughout your body. Just be with these amazing sensations for a few moments as you listen to this relaxing music. Now become aware of this life force energy and feel its presence throughout your emotional body. It's as though there's a bubble that surrounds your physical body. As the energy flows, be aware that this bubble or energy field begins to expand. Allow it to grow larger and larger until the entire meadow is inside your energy field. In this moment, there's nothing to do. There's only to be. Now, as you sit quietly in this state, I invite you to redirect your attention, your awareness, to the conditions of your life today. Perhaps you're doing well with the restrictions and the concerns that are so prevalent in the world. Or perhaps there are some challenges you're having to face. Something that might be challenging or unpleasant. Be aware of any bothersome emotion that rises up from these memories. Sit with this emotion, this feeling, this energy, and simply observe it. Be aware that this energy is not who you are. It's just energy. You can observe it without being it or becoming it. Be aware of any challenges. Be aware of any changes that occur in your physical body as you observe this energy. Be aware of the size of this energy field around your body. Has its size diminished as you've had these thoughts? Now return your attention to this beautiful meadow that you've created. You're sitting in this meadow with butterflies and bumblebees and chirping birds. Let go of any attachment to any other thoughts. And again, focus on this beautiful field, its bright colors, its warmth, its beauty. Let any heaviness you felt before simply fall away. Give it to the earth beneath you to simply carry it away forever. What you have just experienced is the creation of emotional energy. And as quickly as you created it, you simply released it and returned it to a state of calm reflection. You did that. No one else had anything to do with it. Your every thought is enhanced by the emotion that you apply to it. All emotions are valid. And by acknowledging your emotional state, you take dominion over your feelings. Emotions are just energy that we use to enhance our experiences. So scan your emotional energy field to see what's there right now. If you find anything heavy or unpleasant, simply push it out of your energy field. Let it go. Give it to the earth. Let the earth absorb and purify it. Allow yourself to feel exactly what you want to feel right now. If you want to feel sad, feel sad. If you want to feel blissful, feel blissful. Whatever you want to feel is right and perfect for you. Just remember always that you are absolutely in charge of creating these feelings. With every breath, every thought, you are in control of your own emotional state. Notice how whatever you're feeling, your emotional body and your physical body are finding balance. They are working in concert. This is how it feels to experience emotions as we are intended to experience them. Now, one more time, let's focus again on our beautiful meadow. Look around. See the aliveness that surrounds you, the beauty, the delight, the warmth, the wholeness. And whatever emotion you're experiencing with this, all is well. Be aware of where your body, be aware of where in your body you are experiencing lightness. Immerse yourself in that state of lightness. Allow yourself to fully experience this emotional state. Now focus again on the horizon and allow yourself to feel this neutral state that is neither sad nor happy. Just be there right now. Release any sense of time or space. Notice how your mind and your emotional state are in absolute harmony. All is well. From this state, you can cultivate never-ending balance. And as you scan your energy field one last time, see if there is anything else that you'd like to release. It's such a perfect time to let go. If so, whatever it is, simply let it go. Cause it to move out and away from you. It's just energy. It no longer has any value in your life. Now feel whatever you'd like to feel, however it fits into your moment. Do whatever you want to do in this moment as love surrounds you. No one is watching you and nothing is expected of you. Simply be. Wonderful. Be aware of how, after creating these emotions, you have within you the ability to think what you choose to think, to feel what you choose to feel, and always to do what you choose to do. These abilities are innate within you, always available. As we complete this time together, I invite you to return your focus to your breath. Let's take 3 full deep breaths together as we inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Now I invite you to leave your beautiful meadow and return to your body in this present moment. And I invite you to bring with you a heightened ability to create new balance in your life. You can do anything when your thoughts and your emotions work in harmony and balance. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes, feeling a new sense of inner balance. Namaste. Now I would like to invite practitioner Jen Oman to offer all of us a spiritual mind treatment.
And this I know. Love is God. God is love, and this Spirit is all. Everything, everywhere, everyone. It is all. It is the vibration of the divine. It is the energy of the eternal. And it is here, now, in, through, and as each one of us. Each of us is the individualized, unique expression of the divine. Each of us is not a drop in the ocean. Each of us is the ocean in the drop. We are the totality of spirit. And as this perfection, our health is strong. Our bodies are strong, healthy, whole, resilient, perfect. Our finances are strong, and we have all that we need to live our life of ease and joy. Our relationships are strong as we make it a point to reach out through whatever means that we have available to each other, especially reaching out to those who may be feeling emotional separation at this time. For we know that regardless of whatever temporary limitations may be being placed on us at this time, it will never diminish the connection we have with each other and with every living being on this planet. And I am so grateful for this. I am so grateful for this gift of time that we have been given, this time to just be, this time to enjoy our homes with our four-leggeds and our loved ones. And I am so grateful that we have this added time to enjoy the wonders of spring every day, blossoming all around us, shouting to us with joy, all is wonderfully well. And I'm so grateful to be here at CSL Asheville, to be part of this amazing Sunday celebration, reaching thousands of people around the world. And I release my words into loving, accepting arms of spirit, knowing it is truth spoken. And so it is.
Thank you, Jen, for the beautiful treatment. And thank you, Tim, for the wonderful bowl playing. And I want to thank all of our folks in the video and sound booth back there that are making this recording so possible. And thank you all for being with us and watching and being a part of this experience. So I don't remember what week this is in this new way of being in the world, where we have to be distanced from one another, where we have to stay at home, where we have to be mindful of anywhere that we want to go. I've learned that most of the living here in North Carolina and Western North Carolina, we have avid hikers, and the hiking trails are closed. God forbid two people would cross on a hiking trail. I'm not complaining, I'm just noticing. So, that being so, I want to draw your attention to the title slide of my talk today, to this beautiful mermaid. And you might be asking, what does a mermaid have to do with this thing called you? Absolutely nothing. It was just a beautiful picture, and I couldn't put it away. So you got to see the mermaid that caught my attention this week. I do, however, want to talk on the topic of this thing called you, which is a book that Ernest Holmes published in 1948. Some say it's his best book, which means it's their favorite book. This idea of Holmes bringing us information in 1948 is significant. In 1948 is post-World War II. And of course, Dr. Holmes and all the people that were involved in the early part of our spiritual movement did go through the experience of World War II. Now, we are very distant from that. That was 80 years ago. And many of us don't remember that at all, don't have childhood memories of it. I just for a moment want to talk about what the mindset must have been like in this country, in the United States, post-World War II. Interestingly, even though we didn't have the war fought on our soil, we sent so many hundreds of thousands of soldiers over to Europe and to the Pacific to fight on our behalf. So many of them didn't come home. And those that were home were all focused on this economy that was supporting this war, building military equipment, building safety equipment, everyone took on a different job that needed to be done. And we might see some parallels with that in what's happening in the world today, and how our experience of mobilizing and such has been called forth. My guess is that World War II was harder than dealing with a virus. So if you're like me and you find yourself slipping into those moments that sure sound like being critical or grumpy or not being okay with life, I'm here to tell you that we can rethink this. And Dr. Holmes wrote this amazing little book called This Thing Called You. It's a little book. It is absolutely packed with words of wisdom. I think that's why so many people like it. You don't have to wait 3 pages to figure out what he's wanting to say. He says it very directly and very succinctly in this book. And so I've just pulled out a few little things that have touched me that I want to share with you this morning about what Dr. Holmes has been writing. And where we're going to start with this is a quote. Let's see if I can turn this on and make this work. There we go. Keep firm before you. Your memories are for reminiscing, not for forecasting. Whoa! What a great idea. How do we use our memories most of the time? We think about how what has happened in the past is going to affect what's going to happen in the future. And we start working it. We start remembering how uncomfortable it was to go through what we went through. And this that we're going through now sure sounds a lot like that thing that we went through before. It must be the same. Or maybe it's worse. Maybe it's going to be worse. Well, again, remember when he wrote this. World War II was over. And there was an economic boom after World War II, but there were still a lot of people that were not clear about how the world was working. By 1948, when this book was published, the Congress was all caught up in looking at communists and persecuting people in this country horribly, thinking that perhaps they had some thought that we should be like the Soviet Union. So there were still crazy things happening in the midst of all of that. And when that was going on, people were looking back and saying, oh no, more problems, bigger problems. This is a tough time. This isn't going to work. And when we do that, what we're actually doing is we're using the law of attraction to draw into our consciousness the experiences that we don't want. So as we're going through this matter of the coronavirus of 2020, it serves us so much to remember that this does not mean anything other than what we make it mean. In this moment, we are at choice in every moment as to what we want to do with this information. And when we use the information from the past and place it on our sense of what the future will be, we do ourselves a great disservice. We are not focused on the thing that we are wanting to create. We're focusing on exactly the opposite. And when we do that, we limit the opportunities to experience something better. As I've been saying for weeks to you, we're not going back to the old normal. That's not going to happen. There's going to be a new normal. Right now, we're kind of in that space between old normal and new normal, and being in that space, what we're actually doing is we're creating the new normal. We're creating in our thinking, we're creating in how we're feeling, and it's our job to create a new normal that we like, that works for us, that is better than what we had before. The United States of America became a dominant force in the world after World War II. That's when we actually became what is now called a superpower as a society, as a country, as a government. That didn't happen early on. It wasn't the way things were lined up until after World War II. So did we have challenges after World War II? Absolutely there were challenges. Of course there were. Lots of challenges. 1948 was I think it was 1947, probably while Holmes was writing this, the Nuremberg trials were going on. They were finding every Nazi they could and putting them on trial in Europe. It was a difficult time. It wasn't like things all of a sudden got really nice and rosy. Some things got better and some things were still challenging and held people in those memories of the past. But our work with Holmes is to focus on finding the good in our memories and letting go of the rest and not applying what has happened in the past to our future. Holmes talks a lot about this idea of our subjective consciousness, or subconsciousness, it is also called. And he has some real clear ideas that it's that place within us that we use to create our future if we're not paying attention. Because the subjective mind will keep collecting data and applying it to what's going on until we take charge and in our conscious mind choose something else. So what does Holmes say about the subconscious mind? In our subconscious mind, it's not only your individualized memory, the subconscious also contains memory images of your family, your ancestral background, and the sum total of what the whole world has thought or believed. Isn't that extraordinary? So your subjective mind is not separate from my subjective mind. There's only one mind. And this, which is the storage unit of all memory, subjective mind, we have access to it. And we can use that information for good, or we can make life hell. It's our choice. So as we're finding our way through this whole matter of the coronavirus, it serves us to stay in our conscious awareness as much as possible so that we are making the choices consciously in our lives. We're not relying on the past to determine the future. And when I say the past, it's the collective past that we have all experienced that is in our ability to gather information and act on it. So we want to be as conscious as we possibly can. The next thought that I have for you is personal. It's about elevating your dreams to a spiritual practice. This is an idea that Holmes came up with and put into this book, and I think there's some extraordinary merit to this idea that the dreams, and what he means by dreams, at least how I'm interpreting it, is that what he's saying is that your desires in your life and the outcomes that you seek to have, make them a spiritual practice. Think about them consciously. Apply them to what's happening in your life today. The vision you have for your future is something that you're creating through your thinking. And if you don't elevate your dreams, your plans, your desires for your future to a spiritual practice, you're not giving it your all. The best thing we can do in our lives is remember who we are and remember what we're here to do. It doesn't have to be grandiose. We don't have to change the world with everything that we do. But what we're going to do should be important. Perhaps spending time with our children or our grandchildren. Perhaps learning something new and different. Oh, we can't do that. We're all sequestered at home. We can't go out into the world. Oh, this is the information age. That's just not true. We can do whatever we'd like. We can find whatever we want. It's all there in that little box that we call a computer. It's in the iPad or whatever device we might be using. We have more information today than most presidents of the United States ever had. All we have to do is access it. All we have to do is engage it. Now, I know that before all of this happened with the virus, there was talk about put your computer down, put your phone away. But right now, it's a lifeline. So let's use it. Let's keep our minds active. Let's think about where we're going in our lives and what we want to create in our lives. Let's don't give that up because we're sitting at home. Life doesn't have to become mundane. That's kind of an interesting silver lining to all of this that's happening right now. Before, what I would say to you is, don't let your life be mundane. Take advantage of creating something extraordinary in your life. And what I would say to you today is, this thing that's happened that causes us all to be distanced, that causes us all to be at home, is really something we can use. We can use this to get clear. We can use this to get things in order. We can create a fresh start in our lives. But don't wait for the government to tell you when to start your new start. Start it now. Start it as soon as you can so that you can move into that full, rich life. And once all these restrictions are over and that we're free to move about and do what it is ours to do, then we take full advantage of moving forward with that in a new way. There is nothing mundane going on in the world right now. It's all challenging. It all seems restrictive and holding back, but the truth is that it's simply allowing us to build some tension that will allow us to blossom forth in our lives in ways we couldn't even imagine. So use this as a spiritual practice now. It's the perfect time to plan the next steps of your life. Don't wait for things to change to make that happen. Take Dr. Holmes' advice and elevate your dreams to a spiritual practice. Now, one thing about this little book called This Thing Called You is that it is filled with affirmations. Holmes will write a paragraph and then he'll say, now say, and he'll give you an affirmation to say. Some of them are brilliant. And so I've selected some that I want to read and talk about briefly so that you'll get a sense of what this teacher has to teach us in some real amazing words of wisdom. Here's the first one. I place my affairs in the hands of goodness, love, and wisdom. I place them there with supreme confidence. I have a childlike faith and a trust in good. I know there is nothing between me and that which is best. I am filled with enthusiasm. I enter into the fullness of life. I think this would apply to all of us right now. And to give you a little interpretation on this, I would say that when he says the hands of goodness, love, and wisdom, he's not talking about God in the sense of a being. He's talking about these qualities. He's saying that his life, everything that's going on in his life, is held in goodness, in love, and in wisdom. That this is the foundation of his life. And he's inviting it to be the foundation of our life. And it's a good idea because goodness, love, and wisdom are great characteristics for us to have. Now, some people, if you have more of a Buddhist approach, you would say, well, there's nothing good and there's nothing bad. And I've kind of evolved with this, realizing that what he's talking about are the choices we make for a better world, for a better life, for a better way of being. That's all goodness. That's all moving us forward. That's all lifting us up. So accept goodness. And he says in this as well that he has a childlike faith and a trust in good. Good isn't going away. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It doesn't matter who gets the virus. It doesn't matter how much money we're bringing in right now. There's still goodness in the world. There's still goodness within us. And that's what we seek to find and know. And if we keep our focus on things that are good, things that are loving, and things that are wise, then those things will reflect through our lives in every way. This is a clarion call to a better life. Thank you, Dr. Holmes. See what the next one here is. I realize the presence of the living Spirit within me. My physical body is formed of spiritual substance. It is divinely conceived and perfectly created. There is perfect coordination in every part of my being because the Spirit of perfection is acting in and through me. This one made me think of Barbara. Think of how Barbara's living her life right now, about how she has gone through this process of having a stroke, yet she does not sit at home and worry about how she can live out the rest of her life, about what her limitations might be, about what could go wrong. She does exactly the opposite. She welcomes her therapist into her home. All you can see is their eyes now because they're all wearing masks, but they come on a regular basis and work with her. She's doing amazing work. Her physical therapist told her this week that she's doing things now she couldn't even think to do 2 weeks ago. One of them was that she came into the office this week. For 3 hours, she sat at her desk. She worked with QuickBooks and paid the taxes. I am so happy about that. Made my day, I guarantee you. And I think it made her day as well. So there's all kind of good, but you can't just sit back and wait for the good to come to you. You have to engage the good in your life. You have to create the good in your life. You have to move forward knowing that your life really is the perfection of Spirit. Even when some might say not. The truth is that Spirit will not abandon us, ever. It's impossible. We are one and the same. We can't be abandoned by our higher selves. That's who we are. The law of good is continuously operating in my life. I am always equal to the task set before me. I am confident in my ability to meet every situation. I can solve every problem, overcome every difficulty. I have implicit confidence in Spirit's ability to operate through me in every situation. That is the God that will not leave, that cannot leave, because that is who and what we are. And when we remember this, when we live from that law of good, we get good. That's what we get. That's how it works. Do we have moments when we're not sure? Of course we do. Do we have moments when that fear comes up that maybe we can't handle it? Of course we do. But we don't stop there. We don't limit ourselves to that. We rise above that, knowing the truth of who we are, that the law of good is continuously operating in our lives. And from that place, we can do anything. There is nothing in me that hinders Spirit from manifesting itself through me as joy, happiness, and peace. It is the law of my life that wherever I go, I shall meet with joy, with love, friendship, gratitude, compensation, and with every talent and ability I possess. Every door is open. Nothing can go forth from me but goodness, truth, love, and kindness. Therefore, nothing less than goodness can come back to me. When we claim who we are, when we claim our good, when we know the truth, life must respond in kind. And it does not matter what's going on in the world. It's still our choice. It's always our choice. I identify myself with abundance, health, and happiness. I identify myself with everything necessary to make my life complete. I believe that God is all in all, overall, in everything that I shall ever meet. I am filled with peace and confidence. So remember this. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what's on your heart, no matter what the challenges may look like, the truth is that you are the presence of the divine. You and the creator of the cosmos are one and the same. That presence dwells completely at the point of you, and you dwell completely within this presence. When we remember that, and we stop limiting ourselves to what started in our lives, where we began in our lives, the things that we saw that didn't work in our lives. When we let go of that and recognize our perfection, recognize our divinity, and live from that, no little virus can take control of us and take away from us. We are the presence of the divine. And from that knowing, all is well, all is good, and all is God. And so it is. Thank you. So we are not taking an offering today. We are not passing baskets. That's not what we're doing right now. But we are accepting gifts. And if you feel compelled to support this community, I invite you to go to our website, cslasheville.org, and make a donation. We would be so deeply grateful for your support. Because even in the midst of this silent world, this stillness that's going on everywhere, we still have a mortgage to pay. We still have other expenses that we want to pay. And you can help us do that. So thank you for your support. Go to our website again. The donate buttons are there. And in that thinking, I want us to bless what's come in through the mail, because we certainly are still receiving things through the Postal Service. And I have them right here. And either way, online or through the mail, we are so grateful for the support of those who love this community and support it from around the world. So let's together repeat our investment affirmation. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses the world. And so it is. Have a wonderful week. Remember who you are. Be strong, be safe, and stay well. We love you. God bless you.